I cleaned the executive toilets at Schneider Tech Solutions for 3 years before my German boss remembered I had a degree. And when he finally remembered, he used it to try to destroy me. Let me tell you how karma works in Germany. My name is Adis, and I left Nigeria in 2019 with a master's degree in computer science and dreams way heavy past my suitcase. I got admission to Technical University of Munich for my PhD. The plan was simple: 3 years of research, get my doctorate, maybe work for BMW or Siemens, then bring my family over. My mother sold land in Enugu to pay my fees. My father sold his car. My younger siblings were waiting for me to make it so I could sponsor their own Japa. Germany was supposed to be different from America or UK. They say Germans respect education, hard work, order. They don't tell you that a Nigerian master's degree makes you qualified to clean German toilets. My first winter in Munich nearly killed me. Not the cold, though that cold way they bite your bone marrow, nor another thing entirely. It was the loneliness. The stairs in the U-Bahn. The way shop attendants would watch me like I came to steal. The way my German professors would speak slowly to me, like I was a child, even though I spoke better English than half of them. But I survived. I was doing my research, working part-time at a cafe, sending money home every month through word remit. I was managing. Then my father had a stroke. The hospital bills started coming. My siblings' school fees piled up. My mother was crying on WhatsApp video calls. The part-time cafe job wasn't enough. My student visa only allowed me 120 full days or 240 half days of work per year. I had already used my quota. That's when I saw the job posting, IT support assistant needed at Schneider Tech Solutions. Immediate start. I knew it was Schwarzarbeit, illegal work. But what choice did I have? Let my father die because Germany has rules. I met Herr Schneider on a cold Tuesday in March 2022. Klaus Schneider. 55 years old, expensive suit, cold blue eyes, and the kind of German accent that made every word sound like an accusation. Your degree is from Nigeria. He looked at my CV like it was written in crayon. Yes, sir. University of Lagos. And my master's from? Yes. Can you clean? I thought I heard wrong. Sorry. The office. Toilets. Kitchen. Can you clean? He switched to slower German, like I was stupid. We need someone for evening cleaning. Cash payment. No questions. My PhD research was in artificial intelligence. I had published 2 papers. And this man was asking if I could clean toilets. But my father was in the hospital. Yes, I said. I can clean. Good. You start today. 20 euros per evening. Cash. You tell no one about this arrangement. Vesterhan C. I understood perfectly. He wanted illegal labor he could exploit. And I needed money I couldn't get legally. The immigration letter arrived. I had 14 days to leave Germany. For 2 years, I cleaned Schneider Tech Solutions every evening after my university research. I scrubbed the toilets that the German employees used. I cleaned the kitchen where they left their dirty cups, expecting someone else to handle it. I emptied bins filled with their expensive lunch trash while I ate cheap little noodles at home. And every evening, Klaus Schneider would come to his office late, when everyone else was gone. He would watch me clean. Make comments. You Africans are good at this work. Physical labor. Not so much the thinking jobs, Ja. I would smile. Take my 20 euros. Go home. Send 15 of those euros to Nigeria. Cry in my tiny WG room in Upalak where I could hear my Turkish neighbors fighting through the thin walls. But I was surviving. My father's hospital bills were being paid. My siblings stayed in school. And I was still doing my research, still working toward my PhD. Then the university found out about my illegal work. Someone reported me to the Ausländerbehörde. Someone told them I was exceeding my work hour limits, doing Schwarzarbeit. My residence permit was tied to my student status, and I had violated the terms. The letter from immigration came on a Wednesday. Your aufenthalt status is revoked. You have 14 days to leave the Federal Republic of Germany. I knew immediately who had reported me. The previous week, I had been cleaning Klaus Schneider's office when I overheard him on the phone. He was speaking English to someone, unusual for him. I was emptying his bin when I heard, yes, the Nigerian girl. She's been useful, but she's seen too much. I need her gone before the audit. I had frozen behind his door. What audit? What had I seen? That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the papers I'd seen in his office trash over the months. The invoices that didn't match. The letters from the Finanzamt, the tax office. The emails I'd glimpsed on his computer screen when I cleaned his desk. That's when I discovered what he'd been doing with the company money. I went back the next evening with a plan. Klaus always left his office around 8 p.m., and he never locked his filing cabinet. Why would he? I was just the cleaning girl. Invisible. I found them in less than 15 minutes. Fake invoices. Dozens of them. Klaus Schneider had been creating ghost contracts with fake companies, billing Schneider Tech Solutions for services that never happened, then pocketing the money. Hundreds of thousands of euros. Maybe more. The company was medium-sized, about 80 employees. Klaus was the CEO and majority owner, but there were other shareholders. He was stealing from his own company, from his employees' future, from the German tax system. And I had been cleaning the evidence out of his trash for 2 years. I took photos of everything with my phone. My hands were shaking so hard I had to retake several shots. If he came back early, if he caught me, I was finished. But I got them. Every invoice. Every fake contract. Every bank transfer record he'd been stupid enough to print. Then I got my deportation letter, and I understood, he knew that I'd been in his office. He knew I cleaned there every night. He knew that if anyone ever investigated, I might have seen something. So he removed the problem. He reported me to immigration. I had 14 days to leave Germany, and the only evidence I had of his crimes was on my phone, evidence I'd obtained illegally, while doing illegal work, as an immigrant who was about to be deported. Who would believe me? I sat in my tiny room in Nupalak, staring at my phone, at the photos of Klaus Schneider's theft. Outside, I could hear Germans laughing at a beer garden. Normal people living normal lives. And I was about to lose everything. I had already called my family. My mother cried. My father, still recovering from his stroke, couldn't speak. My siblings asked when I was coming home, like this was a vacation. I couldn't tell them I was being deported. That I'd failed. That the money I'd been sending home, the money they'd used to pay hospital bills, school fees, rent, had come from cleaning the toilets of the man who was now destroying my life. I was alone in Germany. No real friends. The other Nigerian students at Tom avoided me after they found out I was doing Schwarzarbeit. The Nigerian community in Munich was small, and word traveled fast. That girl way they do illegal work don't spoil her life. My PhD supervisor had already informed me that my enrollment would be terminated. 3 years of research, almost finished with my dissertation, and it was over. I had nothing left to lose. His wife showed up at my apartment. What she said changed everything. The knock came on a Saturday evening. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door, a German woman in her early 50s stood there. Expensive coat, tired eyes, the kind of face that had been beautiful once but was now held together by expensive creams and disappointment. "You are Adis?" she asked in English. I nodded, confused. "I am Petra Schneider. Klaus's wife." My blood went cold. She saw my expression. "Please. I'm not here to cause trouble. May I come in?" What choice did I have? I let her into my tiny room with its single bed, small desk, and suitcase that I'd already started packing. She looked around, and something in her face shifted. Pity. Guilt. I couldn't tell. "You know that my husband reported you to immigration," she said. It wasn't a question. Yes. Do you know why? Because I saw something I shouldn't have seen. Her eyes sharpened. The invoices. So she knew. Petra sat on my only chair. I remained standing. She looked at her hands for a long moment. I've known about Klaus's activities for 5 years, she said quietly. The fake companies. The stolen money. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Then I thought it was temporary, that he would stop. But he didn't stop. He got bolder. Why are you telling me this? She looked up at me. Because I'm tired of being married to a thief. Because I have 2 daughters who will one day inherit his mess. And because what he did to you. She shook her head. You were just trying to survive. He exploited that, then tried to destroy you to cover his tracks. I have photos, I said suddenly. Of the documents. The fake invoices. Everything. Her eyebrows rose. You do. But I got them illegally. While doing illegal work. For a man who just got me deported. Who's going to believe me? Petra smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. The Betriebsrat will believe you, she said. The Workers' Council. And more importantly, the Finanzamt will believe you. The German tax office doesn't care about immigration status when someone is stealing hundreds of thousands of euros from them. But I have to leave Germany in. I checked my phone. 12 days. What if you didn't have to leave? I stared at her. She leaned forward. What if we made a deal? You give me copies of everything you have. I take it to the Betriebsrat, to our lawyers, to the authorities. I file for divorce and protect my daughter's inheritance. And in return, I write a letter, signed, notarized, stating that you discovered illegal activity at my husband's company and that you're a crucial witness in an ongoing investigation. That letter will halt your deportation. Why would you help me? Because Klaus has been stealing from our daughter's future. Because he's been lying to me for years. And because... She paused. Because I'm tired of being complicit in his cruelty. What he did to you, exploiting you, paying you poverty wages, then reporting you when you became inconvenient, that's who he really is. And I'm done protecting him. We sat in silence. If I do this, I said slowly, he'll know it was me. He'll come after me. Let him try, Petra said. I have the best lawyers in Munich. And you'll have witness protection as part of the investigation. He can't touch you. I thought about my father in the hospital. My siblings waiting for school fees. My mother who sold land so I could have this chance. I thought about Klaus Schneider's cold blue eyes watching me clean his toilets while he stole from everyone around him. Okay, I said. Let's destroy him. The immigration hearing was in 48 hours. I had no lawyer and one piece of evidence. Petra moved fast. Within 24 hours, she had taken my photos to the Betriebsrat, to the company's minority shareholders, and to a lawyer who specialized in financial crimes. She filed for divorce and requested an immediate asset freeze. But my deportation hearing was still scheduled. The Ausländerbehörde didn't care about corporate investigations. I had violated my visa terms. I had to leave. Petra's lawyer tried to get an emergency injunction, but German bureaucracy moves like a glacier. The hearing was on Monday at 10 a.m. It was now Saturday evening. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I kept checking my phone for messages from Petra, from her lawyer, from anyone who could help. My WhatsApp was full of messages from Nigeria. My mother asking what was happening. My siblings sending prayer emojis. My father had sent a voice note, his first since the stroke. His words were slurred but clear, "Come home, Ada. God will open another door." But I didn't want another door. I wanted this door. I had worked too hard, sacrificed too much, cleaned too many German toilets to give up now. Sunday morning, Petra called. The Finanzamt is interested, she said. Very interested. They are opening a formal investigation into Klaus. But But what? They need you to stay in Germany to testify. But they can't intervene in your immigration case until the investigation is further along. It's a catch-22. So I'm deported tomorrow. Unless. She paused. Unless we force Klaus to withdraw his report. How? By making him more afraid of what we'll expose than he is eager to see you gone. That Sunday evening, Petra and I met at a cafe in Schwabing. She brought her lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Dr. Weber who looked like she ate CEOs for breakfast. Here's what we are going to do, Dr. Weber said. Tomorrow morning, before your hearing, we are going to email Klaus a proposal. We have evidence of his financial crimes. We have testimony from you. We have Petra's willingness to cooperate with authorities. We offer him a choice: withdraw his immigration report and quietly resign from the company, or we go public immediately and he faces criminal charges. He'll never agree, I said. He'll call our bluff. It's not a bluff, Petra said quietly. I've already filed for divorce. The Betriebsrat already knows. 2 minority shareholders are demanding an emergency board meeting. Klaus is cornered. He just doesn't know it yet. What if he still refuses? Dr. Weber smiled. Then we destroy him at your hearing. We show the immigration judge that Klaus Schneider filed a false report out of retaliation because you discovered his crimes. We demonstrate that you're a crucial witness in a financial investigation. We make it clear that deporting you serves a criminal's interest, not Germany's interest. It was a gamble. A huge gamble. But it was the only move I had left. He walked into his office that Monday morning. I was sitting in his chair. The hearing was at 10 a.m. At 6 a.m., Dr. Weber sent the email to Klaus Schneider, CCING Petra, the Betriebsrat representatives, and the minority shareholders. The subject line: withdrawal of false immigration report, urgent response required. By 7 a.m., Klaus had responded, we need to talk. In person. Petra and Dr. Weber insisted I come to his office for the meeting. He needs to see that you're not afraid anymore, Dr. Weber said. He needs to understand that you're not the powerless cleaning girl he can dispose of. So at 8 a.m., I walked into Schneider Tech Solutions through the front door for the first time in 3 years. Not through the back entrance where the cleaning staff went. Through the front, past the receptionist who looked confused to see me not in cleaning clothes. I took the elevator to the executive floor. Klaus's secretary wasn't there yet. His office door was unlocked. I walked in and sat in his leather chair, the chair I'd cleaned every evening for 2 years. The chair he'd sat in while calling me, the African cleaning girl, to his colleagues. When Klaus Schneider walked in at 8:15, I was reviewing his emails on his computer. His face went from confusion to shock to rage. What the hell are you? Sit down, Klaus, Petra said from the doorway behind him. Dr. Weber stood next to her. He spun around. Petra. What is this? This is the conversation where you withdraw your false immigration report, Dr. Weber said crisply. Shall we begin? Klaus looked between us, his face turning red. You can't be serious. This is MY company. My office. I'm calling security. Security reports to the Betriebsrat now, Petra said. Emergency measure approved this morning. You've been temporarily suspended pending investigation. I watched Klaus Schneider's face as he realized he'd lost. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. He tried to bluster. Tried to threaten. Tried to claim we were all crazy, that he'd done nothing wrong, that I was just an illegal worker trying to blackmail him. Dr. Weber let him rant for exactly 3 minutes. Then she placed a folder on the desk. These are copies of 47 fake invoices totaling 680,000 euros in fraudulent charges. These are bank transfers to shell companies registered in your name. These are emails discussing tax evasion strategies. And these, she laid out another set of papers, are statements from 3 employees you paid under the table, just like Adis, who are willing to testify. You have no proof. I reported her to immigration, Klaus said desperately. We don't need it, I said quietly from his chair. The Auslander Behörd will investigate who filed the report once they know why it was filed. And when they discover that the CEO of a company was paying illegal wages to an employee he then reported for illegal work, well, that's a crime, Klaus. Multiple crimes, actually. His face had gone pale. Here's what's going to happen, Dr. Weber continued. You're going to call the Auslander Behörd right now. You're going to tell them there was a misunderstanding, that you made an error, and that you're withdrawing your report. Then you're going to resign from Schneider Tech Solutions effective immediately. You'll cooperate fully with the financial investigation. And in return, we recommend leniency, perhaps you'll only face fines and restitution rather than prison time. And if I refuse? Petra stepped forward. Then I hold a press conference this afternoon. CEO's wife exposes husband's financial crimes and abuse of African immigrant worker. I've already had inquiries from 2 journalists. Germans love a good corporate scandal, Klaus. Especially one involving exploitation of a vulnerable immigrant. I stood up from his chair. Walked around the desk. Stood directly in front of the man who had made me clean his toilets for 20 euros a night. You tried to destroy me because I was inconvenient, I said. Because I was just the African cleaning girl, and who would believe me anyway? But you forgot something, Klaus. What's that? He said bitterly. Even cleaning girls have PhDs in computer science. We notice things. We remember things. We take photos. At 9:30 a.m., Klaus Schneider called the Auslander Behörd and withdrew his report. At 10 a.m., my deportation hearing was cancelled. At 10:30 a.m., Klaus Schneider resigned from his company. The police came. But not for me. 3 months later, the Finanzamt completed their investigation. Klaus Schneider was charged with tax evasion, fraud, and labor law violations. The total amount stolen was actually 1.2 million euros, nearly double what we'd initially found. I didn't go to his trial. I was too busy finishing my PhD dissertation. The university reinstated my enrollment with an apology. Petra Schneider, now legally divorced and the majority shareholder of Schneider Tech Solutions, offered me a job, Director of IT Security. Who better to protect our systems than someone who saw them being exploited, she said. I accepted. My new salary is 85,000 euros a year. That's 4,250 times what Klaus paid me per night to clean his toilets. My father recovered fully from his stroke. My siblings finished school. My mother visited me last Christmas, her first time leaving Nigeria. I took her to the Christmas market at Marienplatz, and we drank glue wine while it snowed. She cried, but this time they were happy tears. I got my German residence permit, the real kind, the kind that leads to citizenship. I'm teaching a course at TOM now, Ethics in Artificial Intelligence. My first lecture is always the same. Technology without ethics is just power without accountability. Never forget who holds power, and never forget who's invisible. Last week, I walked past Schneider Tech Solutions, it's called Petra Solutions GmbH now. The evening cleaning crew was arriving. They're all paid fair wages. All legal. All protected by contracts that Petra and I wrote together. One of them was a young woman from Ghana, new to Germany, carrying her backpack and looking nervous. I stopped her. You're the new cleaner? I asked in English. She nodded, eyes wide. What's your degree in? She looked startled. How did you know I have a degree? Because I used to clean these toilets too, I said. And I'm now the director of IT. Keep your eyes open. Take notes. You never know what information might change your life. She smiled. I gave her my business card. If you ever see something you shouldn't see, I said, call me. As for Klaus Schneider, the last I heard, he's working as an accountant for a small firm in Stuttgart. No executive titles. No power over vulnerable employees. Just an ordinary job, paying taxes like everybody else. The police never came for me. But they came for him 3 times, once for the fraud charges, once for the tax evasion, and once for the labor violations. Karma in Germany works slowly. But when it arrives, it's as efficient as everything else in this country. I still live in Munich. I still send money home, but now it's to invest in my siblings' businesses, not to survive. I still experience racism. You don't escape that just by getting a good job. Last month, a colleague asked if I knew how to use the coffee machine. I'm the person who coded the security system for the entire building, but I still get mistaken for the help. The difference is, now I have papers. I have protection. I have power. And I have Klaus Schneider's old office. I keep one thing from my cleaning days on my desk, the cheap rubber gloves I used to scrub his toilets. Petra asked me once why I keep them. To remember, I said. To remember that the people you treat as invisible are watching everything. And someday, they might be sitting in your chair. So here's my message to anyone planning to Japa to Germany, or anywhere else: the grass is greener here, yes. But you pay for that greenness in ways you can't imagine. You clean toilets with your master's degree. You be invisible even when you're standing right in front of people. You question everything about yourself, your accent, your name, your worth. But you're not powerless. Even when they treat you like you are. Document everything. Remember everything. Build alliances in unexpected places. And never, ever let them convince you that you're just the help. Because the people who are invisible, we see everything. And someday, when the right moment comes, we take our seat at the table they said we'd never reach. My name is Adis. I clean toilets in Munich for €20 a night. Now I run the IT department for one of the most successful tech companies in Bavaria. And I did it by remembering that even cleaning girls have PhDs. Would you have kept quiet to protect your deportation status, or would you have risked everything to expose the truth? Drop your thoughts below. Fellow Nigerians abroad, has your qualification ever been dismissed because of where you're from? Share your story. And if you know someone planning to Japa to Germany, send them this. Let them know what making it really costs, and what it can become if you refuse to stay invisible.